You know, Kelby, I was sitting at my garden looking out the window the other day, and I was thinking of you now that you're a man, basically, and you're away in college, and thinking about what you're thinking about, and all kinds of things started to go through my head. So I thought I'd just send you this little video that I made, show you something that I think might interest you. You know, all over my house I have photographs of people who are close to me and people I've known over the years. I have them in my office. I keep in my office these of Margaret. That's when we were both very young, and that's when we were with you as gangsters. That's an old friend of mine, Bob Slazak, and here's a little mask you made I like so much. I put it with a statue by Nancy Matthews, a pretty famous artist. Nancy kind of turned me on to the concept of altars. And her house is just like my bedroom. You see my bedroom here that I made of all the little angels and things like that? Her house is completely like that, and I liked it. She has these little things. I bought some from her. They're called altars. And some of them are funny. This is called the Shallows of Anna Maria. That's an island up the coast here. So it's kind of funny of little babies kind of buried in the seashells. And it's weird, too, which I also like. And I have that in my bedroom, and you know that one I have with your mask, that very painful one. And here's one that's really pretty and funny. It's called Salt and Pepper Visit Valley, the island valley, you know, little salt and pepper shakers. It's quite beautiful. It's funny and kind of beautiful at the same time. She has them all over her house. I like them so much, I kind of bought those two. And then I started to build my own altars. And in my office, I have pictures of Scylla, and I have pictures of my kids when they were grown, you know, and then some kids I adopted. I don't even know them. I just keep their pictures. And here's one of my mother's family. You've never met any of these, but my mother is the beautiful woman in the back, and the one sitting in the middle is her very Irish mother. And right to the right is my Uncle Tom, the little one there. He went down to Panama, and he married my Aunt Judy, who you may have seen a couple of times when she came up. This is my mother's mother when she first came over, quite fancy. Look at her on the right-hand side with her scarf and her big hat. That would have been in the 1900s, the late 1890s. And here's a little altar I made for my mother and father, and for Pauline too, who, even though that we're not married anymore, is a kind of soulmate of mine. Here's one of myself and Margaret, kind of dressed as people in the 17th century that I've always liked. And of course, some pictures of myself and brother Artie. There's little Jimmy on the left, and there's Fran holding his hand like she's going to fall off. That's my dad. He was a captain in the Navy, you know, and he was also an educator, so he had a big school running. And then that's the day I get married. And then down here, again, there's myself, there's Fran, and little Jimmy, who just about could stand up. There's my dad with a buddy of his when they were young people, and there's my dad as he got older, sitting in the Stork Club. I kind of keep those together. And in the other part of the room, I have pictures again of us, the first four kids, who were always very close together, you know. And then the pictures of Margaret and your dad and JD, but there's your dad right in the middle, and they're sitting in our apartment on 158th Street, which overlooked a big graveyard that contains some famous people from the Trinity Church. So that's what they look like. Here's me sailing, and these are some pictures people made of me basically over the years, and I like them so much I kind of kept them. I don't remember who made them all, but as you'll see as you go through it, that I'm generally sleeping or sitting or lying down, which is one of my favorite things to do. There's you as a pirate, and here's me dressed up as a cowboy in Arizona. I always like that one, it's funny. And here's me kind of lying down again with one of Margaret's Moat Marine shirts. And here's when I was wild and drinking and smoking with my wife Pauline in a bar somewhere. And that's me camping out and sitting on the stairs trying to figure out what's going on. There's you again with Captain Dennis and me. Look like you're having a great time there. This is myself and Dave Bridges. We were sailing off the Carolina coast. Somebody took that. And there's you again. That's another photo of, there's your dad right there, and Dennis, you know, and myself, and there I am sleeping again. And it's a little altar to myself, because when you get out as far out as I am, and you look back, sometimes you find nobody's there, you know, backing you up, you know, as Bruce Springsteen says, cover me. When I look back, I don't see anybody covering me, so I kind of cover myself. These are people that I love and I like and I'm close to, and these are times that either I was sleeping or resting or having fun with them. and there's Dave now. Again, that was a great trip. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. I took some pictures out of the closet. Every time I go away to Mexico, I come back and I rearrange the pictures. There's my Bruce album you gave me. And I noticed one day that I had pulled out a whole load of pictures about you. I usually have a couple of them of you. There's you as a little gangster, and there's us eating some oysters somewhere. And I think that was up at the oyster bar here or something. And that's us sitting in some restaurant. And that's me in France when I was sailing. And there's you batting. And there's you one of your grade school pictures. There's Rick on a motorboat down here. And I put them all together because I thought they belonged together. And also they kind of, it was like an altar to the three spirits who are always around you, myself and your dad and Rick, that's, you can call us angels or something, but we're basically, we didn't ask for the deal, but we have it. And that's to keep you in mind all of the time, because this is a kind of new change for you, and it's new for everybody, so it's always nice to know that some other people are thinking about you and concerned about how things are going, and hoping you're having a good time. And if you're not, they're there somehow in spirit to commiserate with you, So I'm going to keep this up for 4 years until you graduate. I'm going to add more to it as I get more. But I wanted you to know that you have 3 very unusual spirits. They don't do much. You won't see them in the movies, with saying boo and the rest of that, but they're always around you because you carry them with you. They're your memories of them, and they help you in some way that we often can't figure out. The Eastern religions think that the child, when it comes into the world, chooses the parents. Once he finds the parents that are most attractive for his growth. It's the opposite of Western thought, and I think also what happens is the child selects the friends of the parents. And what he gets when he comes in is what you got here with me and your dad and with Rick. That's what was waiting for you of all of the men. We came to kind of hang around and to make sure that you got out on the right foot. And if you didn't, to maybe help you get out on the right foot, or to tell you that it's not okay to be on the right foot all the time. You can be on the left foot as well, What you want to do is follow your own footsteps and not anybody else's. And if you do that, and if you stick to what you think is right and true, then you'll lead a good life. And the most important thing is to lead your own life, and we're here to make sure that you do lead your own life and not somebody else's, It's the biggest mistake that people make, is to try to be like somebody else, like their mother or father, or even their grandfather, like me. There's your dad, look at him. Just try to lead your own life as best you can, and we'll be there to encourage you to keep doing it. I love you.